Welcome to Soul Stories, where every tale touches the heart, inspires the mind, and stays with the soul. Jake was a poor mechanic working in a small, crumbling garage on the far edge of the city where the roads were dusty. The buildings were old, and dreams often felt too heavy to carry. Every morning before sunrise, he rolled up the rusted shutters, tied a faded cloth around his head, and got to work. His hands were always stained with grease, his clothes worn and patched, but his heart was pure and honest. Jake never complained. Wife had taught him to stay quiet, work hard, and hope silently. Not far from his garage lived the rich boys of downtown, sons of powerful businessmen and politicians. They drove expensive cars, wore designer clothes, and treated kindness as weakness. Often, when their luxury cars broke down, fate cruelly brought them to Jake's humble garage. They mocked his accent, his clothes, his simple tools. Jake would lower his eyes, fix their cars perfectly, take his small payment, and say nothing. One evening, as they sat in a cafe laughing over drinks, one of them came up with a cruel idea. Let's give the poor mechanic a taste of high society. He sneered, another laughed. Even better, let's break his heart while we're at it. They created a fake profile online using pictures of a beautiful, wealthy girl and sent Jake friendly messages. To his shock, the girl seemed kind, interested, and strangely sincere. For someone who had never been noticed before, the attention felt unreal. After days of chatting, they sent him a glamorous invitation to the most luxurious cafe in the city for a blind date. Behind their screens, the boys laughed endlessly, planning to hide nearby and secretly record his humiliation. When Jake read the message, his hands trembled. Someone like her inviting him. It felt impossible. Still, hope, quiet, and fragile rose in his chest. That night, he borrowed a clean white shirt from his neighbor, the only one that almost fit him. He carefully washed his face, trimmed his beard, fixed his hair again and again in the cracked mirror. His reflection looked unfamiliar, nervous, unsure, but trying. As he walked toward the cafe, towering lights, shiny cars, and beautifully dressed people surrounded him. Every step felt heavier than the last. His heart pounded with fear and excitement. He had no idea that mockery had led him here, or that fate was silently rewriting his future.
I need to tell you something important.
What is it? You're scaring me.
The cafe was glowing with warm golden lights, filled with soft music, laughter, and the quiet clinking of expensive cups and plates. Everything about the place screamed luxury: crystal chandeliers, velvet chairs, and perfectly dressed guests. Sitting near the window was Anna, the only daughter of one of the most powerful CEOs in the city. Her beauty was effortless, but her expression was distant. She had agreed to the blind date only because her cousin had insisted it would be interesting. She had no idea it was meant to be a cruel joke. Anna checked her phone once more, wondering why her date was late. Around her, her fashionable friends sipped their drinks and whispered excitedly, expecting someone equally rich and impressive to arrive. Then the cafe doors slowly opened. Jake stepped inside. The moment he entered, the room fell into a strange, uncomfortable silence. Conversations paused. Curious eyes turned toward him. His borrowed white shirt was neatly pressed, but he couldn't hide the fact that he didn't belong in a place like this. His shoes were worn. His hands, despite being washed carefully, still bore faint traces of grease that no soap could fully erase. Anna's friends looked at him in disbelief. One of them leaned forward and whispered, "Is he lost?" Another covered her mouth, trying not to laugh. The air filled with quiet judgment. Jake's heart sank. He looked around, suddenly aware of how out of place he was. For a moment, he truly believed he had been fooled. Embarrassment burned his chest. He took a step backward, ready to turn around and escape before the humiliation destroyed him. But then Anna looked up. Their eyes met. She didn't see a joke. She didn't see a poor mechanic in worn clothes. She saw nervousness, honesty, and a man standing alone in a room that didn't accept him. Instead of laughing, Anna stood up. "Are you Jake?" she asked gently. He nodded, his voice caught in his throat. "Yes, I think I'm here to meet you." She surprised everyone by smiling. "Please, sit." As they began to talk, Jake's nervousness slowly turned into quiet honesty. He spoke awkwardly at first about the small garage where he worked, about fixing broken engines since he was a teenager, about his mother who taught him dignity even in poverty. There was no fake charm in his words, no rehearsed confidence, just truth. Anna listened carefully. With every word, something inside her shifted, for the first time in many years. She felt she was listening to someone real, not someone trying to impress her wealth or her status. And for the first time in years, Anna realized how rare honesty truly was.
We need to go. Now.
Outside the cafe, across the street, and hidden behind tinted windows, The pranksters waited in their luxury cars, cameras ready. They were laughing impatiently, imagining the moment Jake would run out, humiliated. To them, this was just cruel. Entertainment, another way to remind a poor man of his place in the world. Asterisk inside the cafe. However, the air had changed. Asterisk Jake and Anna sat facing each other in a small bubble of quiet that felt separate from the rest of the room. The whispers of judgment faded into the background. For the first time in his life, Jake felt truly seen, not as a worker, not as a joke, but as a human being. His hands trembled slightly as he spoke, afraid that at any second the illusion might shatter. Asterisk Anna studied his face closely, the nervous way he smiled, the honesty in his eyes, the way he spoke without pretending to be someone he wasn't. Then, unexpectedly, she smiled. Not a polite smile, not a pity-filled one, a real smile. Asterisk, I don't care if you're rich, she said softly, her voice steady. You're kind, you're real, and I like you. The word struck Jake like lightning. For a moment, he simply stared at her, frozen in disbelief. His mind raced with doubt. Is this part of the prank too? He wondered. People like him were not chosen, they were laughed at, used. For Gortana's chest tightened as old fears rushed back. Asterisk, I'm not joking, Anna added gently when she saw the confusion in his eyes. You don't have to pretend with me. Asterisk, he searched her face for mockery, for hidden laughter, for cruelty, anything that would confirm his worst fears. But there was none, only sincerity. And in that moment, Jake realized something had truly changed. Just then, the cafe doors opened once again. A deep, commanding presence filled the room. Asterisk Anna's father, the powerful CEO whose name ruled boardrooms and industry, stepped inside with two assistants behind him. He had come to surprise his daughter, unaware that he was about to walk straight into destiny. Asterisk, the pranksters outside went pale when they saw him enter. Their laughter died instantly. Fear replaced their excitement as they realized the game had gone too far. Asterisk inside. All eyes turned toward the CEO. The room fell into respectful silence. Jake felt his heart drop to his stomach. He stood slightly, unsure whether to run, apologize, or disappear. Asterisk, the CEO's sharp eyes moved from the elegant guests to his daughter, and then to Jake. Asterisk, but before he could speak, Anna stood up and held Jake's trembling hand. Asterisk, he's not poor in character, she said firmly, her voice filled with courage. That's what matters. And for the first time in his powerful life, the CEO did not interrupt. He listened. The cafe felt frozen in time. Every whisper had vanished. Every laugh had died. All eyes were locked on the powerful CEO as he slowly turned toward the glass windows outside, toward the very people who had set this cruel plan into motion. Asterisk, the pranksters realized too late that their foolish game had reached the highest authority in the room. Asterisk, with one sharp gesture, the CEO signaled his head of security. The doors were locked. The young men were brought inside, shaking, their confident smiles long gone. Their phones, still recording, were taken from their trembling hands. Asterisk played the video. The CEO said coldly. Asterisk, the screen lit up with their laughter, their ugly mockery, their plans to humiliate a poor mechanic for entertainment. Each second of the video dug their grave deeper. The cafe guests watched in stunned silence as the truth unfolded. Asterisk, the CEO's face hardened not with loud anger, but with something far more terrifying, quiet judgment. Asterisk, with immediate effect, he said slowly. Your families are removed from every project tied to my company. All partnerships are cancelled, every contract terminated. Gasps filled the cafe. One of the boys dropped to his knees, begging. Another broke into tears. But karma had arrived, and it was merciless. Then the CEO turned toward Jake. The entire room held its breath. Asterisk, Jake stood there unsure, his destiny hanging between fear and hope. For a man like him, being noticed by someone so powerful felt unreal. The CEO stepped closer. Son, he said firmly, placing a hand on Jake's shoulder. Any man who earns my daughter's respect with truth instead of wealth is welcome in my world. Asterisk, Jake's eyes filled with tears. For the first time in his life, someone of power had spoken to him as an equal, not as a servant. Asterisk, Anna stepped forward and held Jake's hand openly. Without fear, without shame. That night did not make Jake rich, but it made him something far greater. Asterisk, days later, unbelievably, Jake received an offer, not charity, not pity, but opportunity. The CEO personally invested in Jake's small garage, helping him expand it into a full-service workshop. Jake still worked with his hands. He still smelled of oil and metal, but now his work built a future. Asterisk, Anna stood beside him through every as a princess saving a poor man, but as a woman who chose a good heart over a golden name. Asterisk, and the prank meant to destroy him. It became the door that destiny opened. Jake never forgot that night. Asterisk, because it taught him the one truth no wealth could ever buy. Asterisk, character is the only thing that truly changes fate.